of schedulings, as I said to you that we are having two important methods, which is going to be called as forward scheduling, and the second one which is going to be called as a backward scheduling. So forward scheduling means we know about the specified job and the specified order, and accordingly that we are trying to complete by the task. And here not only by based on the jobs, but also that the people will give that prioritizing work, and this work is going to be very, very important. We need to do this work as a primary thing, and then next only we can do any other kind of work. So once you have these kind of commitments, and then definitely you will be following forward scheduling method, which is going to be completely on requirement, demand, and the time base we are able to complete by forward scheduling. Second one, which is going to be called as a backward scheduling. So in the point of the backward scheduling, what will happen? We are committed with a time factor, time bound. April 25th, afternoon 12 p.m. Definitely we are going to delivering by our products. Now once you have the commitment, and based on the commitment, these companies, what they will do, simultaneously they are committed for manufacturing of the products. Now based on time bound, the backward scheduling will be worked out. We are having our regular duties, but as well as based on the time bound also, they will be performing by their duties. And the next important one, which is going to be deal and talk on that aggregate production plan. This is going to be one of the most popular production planning method. Now this aggregate production planning, which is going to be the overall within a 1 year, what is my plan for doing of production, doing of inventory, doing of personal level any sort of activities, which is going to be everything recorded and will be having under a single head, which is going to be called as a aggregate planning. Generally in the name itself, they mention very clearly aggregate. This is like a 1 year or less than 1 year, 1.5 year time span. Usually the companies will have this kind of planning. Now within 1 year, like a short term, what we supposed to do and what are all our goals, and accordingly that this aggregate planning will be worked out. Now when it comes to the aggregate planning process, again we are segregating onto the two important heads, which is going to be called as internal planning process. Second one is external planning process. Whereas in the internal planning process, which is going to be happen within the four walls of the factory. Within the four walls of factory, what factors are highly influencing, and based on that we are going to be select. These are the important production planning factors for effective utilization or effective implementation of these internal aspects. Whereas external factors, which is going to be highly influencing on like a external environmental factors, this is not so by directly, and sometimes by the indirectly also will be showing much more impact on your businesses. Now internal production planning, again we are going to be deal and talk on that capacity. So what is your capacity? Now your plant, whether it is running on 80% capacity, 90% capacity, or 120% of capacity, that you need to be determined by your plant, which is going to be depending on the availability of material, labor, machinery, time bound. You need to be decide what is the capacity of your plant. Second factor, which is going to be focusing on the workforce. Now what kind of employees we are having, whether they are skilled or semi-skilled or unskilled, whether they are required any sort of additional training for their improvement. Now the employees, whether they are permanent or by the contract, so you need to be justify the employee facilities what you are providing for them, and accordingly that you can able to find out their production output also. A third one is like a inventory. As we know that inventory is one of the predominant factor. So whenever you are manufacturing the product, and every time the inventory will be taking that leading role, because what quality of material we are having and what quality of material we are using and what is the impact of that materials also will be considered and will be monitoring by each and every aspects. And the last one is production. So what is this production and how this production which is going to be played that an important role for us? Because why we are establish our farm? For the sake of manufacturing, for the sake of delivering of products, for the sake of customer satisfaction. So we are having a multiple reasons for manufacturing of your products. But whatever it is, whatever it is, the production capacity must be known by each and every employee at the organization. Now, we must be understanding another important component is like the production planning, which is also influenced by external environmental factors. External capacity. For example, you are running with 80% capacity and 90% capacity, and you are feeling proudly that we are one of the successful businessman. But when you compare with your competitors, then you will be understanding like your plant capacity is very, very low. And other companies are using sophisticated and highly qualitative technology, whereas 0% errors products they are manufacturing. So in those companies also, when they compared with international level or some other countries, and they will be understanding that what is the capacity of their plant. Next, we can talk about the competition. After 1991, we are working under LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Any corner of the world, you can manufacture your products, and anywhere in the world, you can sell your products. So you cannot able to say like only the Karnataka companies are competition to me or the Delhi companies. Now the entire world, everywhere you can able to launch your product. If the product is really worthy and it is having the essential qualities and which can be satisfy all the needs of the people, and then you will become a market leader. If not, you will be out from the market. So you must be understanding the competition is increasing in the present scenario by day. Next, raw material supply. Now, who is going to provide raw material for us? By the suppliers. Now, what suppliers will do? They will continuously provide material to companies, and they will start to getting by the income from us. Now, the companies also will be looking to that these suppliers are really they are providing qualitative material to us. So we must be feel that we must be have these kind of companies for the future also. We don't want to lose these kind of suppliers. Sometime what will happen? The rivals or some other competitors may offering by the higher prices, so that the suppliers are they may stop material to provide to you, and they may go for other companies also. So in this situation, we must be think if the supplier is not available, the entire production is going to be stopped. Now what we supposed to do? So who is next best supplier for us, and how many months is or how many years, how long he will able to provide material to us? And we need to be think all these factors, and relatively we need to provide these things. Next, fourth one, which is going to be deal and talk on that demand. Demand for what? Demand on the manufacturing of products. So as we know that continuously we are manufacturing the product and the products are available in the entire market. Now, what is the demand of your products in the market? If there is a huge demand for your products, which is going to be indicating like your price is reasonable, the product is qualitative and worthy, which is going to be satisfying the needs of the people, so that they are emerging and they are showing very much interest about to come and buy your company products. So that this is a one kind of what we say like signals, which is going to give it to the companies. Now the next one, which is going to be stock on that aggregate production plan. How this plan will be worked out. Now here we have four important stages of steps for developing aggregate production plan. Collect related data. Now, while you are being a production manager or any other department manager, you must be know that collecting the data about your company. So in your company, what is your strength, weakness, opportunities and threats, and based on that you need to be create a data sheet or a production plan. According to the production plan, you need to be understand what is the demand and requirement of the buyers, and relatively we need to prepare a strong aggregate production plan. This will not be influenced by any other factors. Now once you collect detailed information about your department or in your production organization, and accordingly that we are going for formulate the problem. Now this problem, which is going to be stating like to solve all the issues at your production department. Now we are having some sort of mechanical issues, or tools are to be required, or whatever the problems you are having. Now once you are started to collect the information, now whether these information will be known by the concerned department manager or not. If he knows, then we are going for the third point, evaluation about the solution. Now what is the problem? You are talking about mechanical or by the technical issues at your organization. Now once you are having by the technical or by the mechanical issues, and then what we supposed to do, again we need to be think whether I am going to give a solution to you, whether this is the best solution or not. You need to be accept, you need to be adjudicate, yes, this is the right solution to solve all my problem. You are providing the technicians for then and there to repair your machineries, or you are taking that next important step. All the machineries are outdated. We bought these machineries 30 years back. Now we are going to buy new machineries. Now, which is completely good for your organization, you can proceed with that. If not, then again we need to be think which is the best and the right suggestion we are thinking and addressing to the organization. And then fourth point, implementation of the aggregate production plan. Once you collected the data, once you are identifying the problem, once you are come up with the color of opportunities, and you are selected the best one, you are implemented, and you are knowing that action related reaction. Whether reaction you have got it in positive way, then your decision making is good. And whatever furthermore decisions you are going to be take, that will be lead to development of your institution only or your particular department. And the next one is, which is going to be talking on master production schedule. Now, in the master production schedule, we are talking about the whole organization. Earlier, we talked about aggregate production plan. Now, aggregate production plan, which is going to be deal about a specified department, especially by production department, their plans, strategies, their controlling techniques. Those concepts only will be deal about this aggregate plan. When it comes to the next one, master production plan. The master production plan is like a overall concept. The whole organization, consolidatedly, we are preparing by an aggregate plan, and relatively that we are working. So in the overall plan, we are focusing in a specific way. Now, each and every department, whenever they have their individual planning, and we are consolidated together, and we can say like this is a master plan of the organization for 2022. And relatively, every department will be working on that. Now, we are able to see like the comparison or the level of the flow charts between aggregate plan versus the master schedules. As you can able to see in this picture, like we are segregating into the three parts. The first part, which is going to be called as long range, between 1 to 15 years. Second one is like a intermediate, which is just like a 3 months to 18 months. It is just like a quarter to 1.5 year between. And the next one is short range, which is just like a less than 4 months. Now, by seeing this range, I can able to tell you briefly the long range, which is going to be indicating like in future what you are targeted. Sometime what will happen, it may beyond that you are expecting 15 years, sometime it may beyond, it may take 20 years also to reach to complete by those specified activities. Because in the long range, which is going to be specifically focusing on market environment forecast. Now, what is this market environment? So India is having one kind of heritage, one kind of culture, one kind of production. Now, whereas in Japan is having one kind of culture and heredity. Now, once you are start to manufacturing your product, you must be know that who is your respondents or consumers, buyers of your product, and relatively you are supposed to launch your products in the market. If in case you are identifying wrong buyers, then ultimately there is no demand for your production, and moreover what will happen, you may think like something is wrong in my production or in my buyers. But the point is identification of a right buyer or consumer was missing here. So being in the long range, if you want to stand in the market, you must be know that to whom you are, for the sake of to whom you are producing your product, and what is their consumption rate, how long they will be use these products, durability. You must be considered about all these elements before you are manufacturing. For that, what you need that you need a strong forecasting mechanism. You must be observing that clearly. Whereas in the another side, resources base and technology. Nowadays, everybody is using an advanced technology for manufacturing of their products, because buyers are very clear in the present market. They will see they want to buy the best product, which is lower price. So when the point of the best price with the lower prices, there is a problem of technology. If we have a good technology, if we have a skilled labor, then only you will be reach this target. So being a long range, if you want to settle in the market, you must be know that what kind of technology we are using, and we need to be compare all the time with our rival companies. Example, you can say like China. China all the time they will compare with US company. US country. So why they are comparing China companies versus US companies? Because US is having a predominant role in the all over the world. It is just like a big brother. Now, what China was doing, like they would like to capture the powers. Even the country is very, very small by US, population is very, very low, but even though universally, why this US dollar was very popular, what kind of essentials they are having, and why we are lower than to the US. So all the time the China will be comparing production wise, population wise, turnover wise, profit wise, and the GDP wise. So that these countries, when they want to play the dominancy role in the all over the world, then they will be looking to that one of the important weapon is technology upgradation. So technology is important to them. So if we have a good technology, and then we'll move on to the next one, that is going to be talking on that the capacity. Already we discussed. So once the company is running full-fledged 100% capacity, if you want to run 110%, 120% capacity, if the plant is access, okay, fine. Otherwise, what companies will do? They would like to start another plant. It is just like a plant extension activity. So when huge demand and both the plants will be work, the demand was down, only one plant will be work. Now, depending on the capacity, depending on the turnover, long range forecasting also we need to be prepared. And then next one is like a intermediate range, which is between 3 months to 18 months. Now here we are seeing like a aggregate production plan. Now this aggregate production plan, just like we are preparing between 3 months to 18 months. Now here we need to be measured, we need to be calculate about what is the workforce and what is the time duration of the employees are working, and what kind of inventory we are receiving, and are we giving any kind of subcontracting to anybody else. So is there any kind of changes in the manufacturing of the capacity? We need to be forecast, we need to be analyzed, and relatively we need to prepare an aggregate plan for 1 year. Now, one department was prepared an aggregate plan. Why not for other departments? Now, other departments also will prepare. All together, we are going to have a strong production schedule, which is going to be called as master production schedule. Now, master production schedule will be a predominant one, and that is going to be a strongest one, where by seeing the master production schedule, we can expect that next year what is the growth of your company. Now, you just have a look on that. In Indian population, the world population wise also we are second largest. But when it comes to the COVID effect, we have taken the precautionary measures and we are safeguarded. But even though as of now the statistics was saying like in the whole world more than 13 crores 10 lakh people approximately they were died. Sorry, they were affected with this COVID positive. Whereas the government was taken that effective measures so that in India we have taken that advanced lead to control of the COVID-19. But unfortunately, the second wave was highly influenced, especially in the state of Maharashtra. Even the Prime Minister also was a little bit afraid, and he was trying to conduct Chief Minister's meeting by tomorrow. What we supposed to do? Because already the government was announced clearly that hereafter no more any kind of lockdowns. So that what is the next alternative for us? What kind of remedial actions we can able to take it? So they are sitting with other states chief ministers and whoever they can able to assist to the chief minister, or they can give the best suggestions to the prime ministers. So in that way, they are conducting a conference which is going to be explaining you that the precautionary measures, how we are very, very serious. So master production schedule also will be influencing, will be showing that in the whole 1 year, the whole departments, how they are taking initiative for reaching our targets. We need to be mentioned very clearly in intermediate range. And the next one is short range. Short range is just like less than 4 months. Now, in this context of the 4 months, what we can do, what kind of schedule or what kind of planning we can able to take it in more effective way. As we know that material requirements, capacity requirements. So what kind of material we are required and how we can able to buy and what best we can purchase and we can start to use. All those details can be prepared and forward to the production department or the inventory department to take by the furthermore actions also. It is just like a purchasing of the material. How many months worth of material we can able to acquire, we can able to hold it. And all these details will be considered under within 3 months or by the 4 months of the span. Okay, guys.
Controlling the cost. This is the last process of project management, project cost management, which we have to control the cost. Already keep in mind when the term control comes. The last topic in project cost management is control the cost. It's a very important topic. Generally, the term control means you will plan something, whether it is an inventory control, whether it is a quality control, whatever be the control. First, you plan something that assume that you have planned for so this X number of budget, rupees X. Then always keep in mind actual. If you try to see actual implementation, always there is a deviation, there is a variance, or there is a deviance. Then what are the variance we are trying to see in the control? Control is nothing but what is actual minus what is plan. What is actual minus what happens to plan. That's what we try to do. When we do planning, then the implementation comes. Then we comparing the implementation and planning is control. What we have to control. If the actual is going as per the plan, then control is not needed. Then if it is going by exceeding the plan, whatever we planned, going exceeding, the budget is exceeding, then we are trying to manage that. Then that is why the process of monitoring the current status of the project. Then we will try to do the project, update the project cost, and try to do the changes to the cost baseline. It's very important that we have to keep on monitor the status of the project at different period of time. That's why if you look at the Gantt chart easily it will tell you that after first week, second week, third week, after a month, what happened to the cost, what happened to time, you can easily visualize that. This is one of the important thing is we have to try to maintain the cost baseline. Already in budgeting, the output is cost baseline. Remember the output of this budget, determine the budget as a cost baseline. Yesterday I described what is the cost baseline. Output of this is cost baseline. then it is input is given. That's why if you look at the input of controlling the cost is, we will have nearly 4 components or 3 components over here, which is taken from the project management plan, cost management plan, which is the first step of first process of project cost management, output of that which is given in control. That's why always we will try to compare with the plan and cost, plan with actual. Then cost baseline. In cost baseline, how, what is the output of this? When we get cost baseline, output of project budget, output of the cost budget is the cost baseline. Another important is performance management, performance measurement baseline. It is very, very important. It is very, very important that performance. What do you mean by performance measurement baseline? Later we'll talk about that. Then always we keep on update the project document. Whatever register is there, at every stage we will update the project document. Just keep on repetitive. Then as far as the tools and technique is concerned, then expert judgment. I told you that this project document, expert judgment keep on repeat. Even in input, even in output. Even in input and output, this project document keeps on repeat. This is a repetitive process where we have to keep on update that. Similarly, expert judgment will come at so many places. Then we have so many analysis over here, like earn value analysis, variance analysis, trend analysis. Generally, you keep in mind earn value. You can use the method. Today, I will teach you what's the earn value method. What is the important tool in project cost management. In project cost management, that is an important tool which help you to control the cost. Then again, the output is work performance information. Always keep in mind, so many performance indicators will come over here. So many performance measurement, performance measure will come into that. Again, keep in mind, the cost forecast is very, very important over here, because we don't know what will happen in the future. That's why the output will the cost forecast. Again, we will keep on update the project management plan. What we update, again the cost management plan is updated. Again the cost baseline is updated. Then performance measures up, because every week it will change. Every week it will change. Based on the time, based on the resource, based on the resource available. If something it is available this week, then again it will change in next week. Again the cost will vary. The time taken will sometime it will exceed the whatever the planned schedule. It will go ahead, or it will go, try to finish earlier. A lot of things will happen. This is an important parameter we have to control over here. Again, told you that in output project documents. Again, the project document you have to keep on update that. The basis of estimate we get from this, where we get this basis of estimate, we get from what you call estimating the cost. Then cost estimate, everything we will get. Again, risk is very, very important. Already I've discussed this topic. Then the input is this. What is the process over here? We are controlling the cost with the help of these tools and technique. Then output is, these are the output. Now already, what is the data flow? the project management plan, one of the three components. Already I discussed this in input. Then again, the input is the last output. Determine the budget. Again, it is an input to cost control. Again, important thing 4.3, direct and manage the project work. Direct and manage the project work will comes under the what you call project integration plan. Project integration plan. Again, it is input for the cost control. It is very important input because always keep in mind one of the three things will come over here in cost. One first is work. The work scope. Scope will define the work. Work will have activity, work packages, everything. Activity, work and work packages, it will come. Then based on work, the time and cost will come. Time will define based on work that it will, whether the work will take long time or short time, depend on work. More the time, more the cost, lesser the time, lesser the cost. Or some work will have more resources, then more the resources, more the cost. Sometimes more the resource, lesser the time, more the cost. That is why if you look over here, so many things will come into picture over here because here we want to control everything. We want to control everything. Again, the plan will come. Then actual, what is the budget? Determine the budget. Complete funding will come. Again, scope. Already told you, scope will define the work. Then cost, then time. Then cost and the time. Then this again this work performance will come. Then again, if you look over here, the cost is related to 4.5, which comes under the project integration management. Project integration management. All this 4.5 and 4.6 will comes under the project integration management, which is the, it depends on output of cost control. Again, another important thing, we are input is project management. Again, we will update the project management. Whatever the input is given. What input is given? Cost management plan, then cost baseline, performance measure baseline. Again, we will have already told you that project document. Keep in mind everything. Just keep on repetitive project document. Then this is a complete data flow. Then always I told you that we have to have update. We to have update because every time it will change. That is why here what will happen is integration change will control. Change control will come. Why change? Always it will change. Based on time, it keep on changes. Based on time, it will keep on changes. That is why the change control will come over here. Already told you that this performance measurement baseline already when I taught this, I told you that always it is related to earn value analysis. It's related to earn value analysis. Then if you look over here in cost baseline, we are cost management plan. Already if you remember the cost baseline, it's not only it is a plan, but even we have to manage and control. That is why the cost management will is used. How we can control the cost based on the change, how we can manage that also we have to plan. Then already told you that cost baseline. Control means whatever we plan with actual. That is why if you look over here, Cost baseline is compared with the actual result. If any changes are there, whether we need a corrective action, whether we need any preventive actions over here. Similarly, performance measurement baseline, when I talked about this performance measurement baseline, I told you that it comes under the project management plan. I told you that we will use the earn value method. We'll use the earn value analysis for that, where we try to compare the performance measurement with the actual result. That's what we do in controlling. We will have some plan, then we will compare with the actual result. We'll compare with the actual result whether we have to make any change or corrective action to be taken or preventive action. Then project document and fundings and everything come into picture. Then again, expert judgment. I don't want to repeat that. What we do in expert judgment, we have a set of tools, variance analysis, earned value analysis, everything is here. Then forecasting, then financial analysis. Now, these are the techniques which are used in the controlling. Already told you, earned value analysis. Just in earned value analysis, what we try to do is we'll compare the performance measure baseline to the actual baseline, actual cost and cost performance. Three important things will come in earned value method or sometimes earned value analysis. Keep in mind, one is very important is schedule. Sometimes it is a time, schedule or time, then work, then cost. Work or cost. That is why we will try to integrate the scope baseline with the cost baseline, cost and schedule baseline. That's why to form the performance measure baseline. Three types of performance measures are there: scope, cost, schedule or time. This is the important, very important, that we already told you that what we do in control. What we do in control is nothing but whatever we plan, then we will compare with the actual result. That is why earned value method analysis comes under the controlling the cost. So what it does is try to compare the performance measurement baseline to the actual schedule and cost performance. Actual schedule by cost performance. Then EVM try to integrate with three: scope, cost, schedule, all the baseline. All these three baseline is combined to form the performance measure baseline. Performance measurement baseline, sorry. And this three will try to develop and monitor the three key dimensions for the each work packages, and they will try to control that. Then that is why we will have planned value. The planned value is authorized budget assigned to some scheduled work. This is a planned value. If you remember WBS, in a WBS, each and every activity of WBS component, it try to include the what is the planned budget, authorized budget for each activity. Last class I discussed when I talked about the budgeting, cost budgeting, I told you about that. I told you about completely on how this budget is allocated. This is called planned value, which is called as referred to process measure baseline. The total planned is budget at completion. Then finally, we will try to measure the earn value. Then you will have an actual cost. Actual cost. Actually, if I show the example, then only you can understand this. If you learn by the theory, you can't understand this. Then variance analysis is done. Variance analysis is done. Actually, this is important. Variance analysis comes under the EVM. Where variance analysis will come under EVM. We will do two types of variance: one for the cost, one for schedule. One for the cost and one for the schedule. One for the cost and one for the schedule. We will try to do it. Earn value minus planned. If you look over the schedule, earn value minus planned value. If you look out cost variance, earn value minus actual cost. Again, there is a variation at completion. Again, we will try to find the variance. I already told you the variance. If you understand this, if you want to understand the simple concept of variances, assume that today the company wants to manufacture the 1,000 mobile. Then due to some reason, they have planned for 1,000 mobile. Means due to some reason, they are able to achieve nearly 900. Then actual is 900. Then planned is what you called 100, 1,000 minus 900, 100. That is a variance. That is a very important. We have to try to find the variance. That is why we will have schedule variance. We have cost variance. Then schedule performance indicator. Then cost performance indicator. This is the EVM. What you call earn value. I will show you an example. Then only you can understand this. If I show you with the help of example, then only you can understand this. I show you with the example of that, then only you can understand this. How this we are trying to measure this complete concept. I will show you with the example, or we'll try to scale down you and try to give in simple words. Already prepare that. Then only you can understand the earn value method. Trend analysis. Why we need a trend? Trend is nothing but we are trying to project over a period of time. What we do in trend? Okay, for 1 month, how the graph look like, whether it is a deteriorating or a try to improving or decreasing. It's a improving or decrease. That's a simple chart is used. Simple chart is used. This is actually graph of earn value method. This is a graph of earn value method. I will show you this. I will show you with the help of example. Then only you can understand. The help of example I will try to show you. This is the actual cost. Up to this is actual cost. This is the time. This is the community cost. Then these are the earn value. Then we will try to find that deviation. I will show you that. And again, we need forecasting. Very important is forecasting. Because we have to forecast based on the past data. Assume that project is 6 months, then you will get the 3 months data. After 3 months, assume that, then you can forecast for the next 3 months. What is the completion time? How the as a project progress, the team may develop a forecast for estimating and completion of that may differ from the budget and the completion. This is the forecasting is used. Again, no need to have a forecast or trend analysis. The reserve analysis comes under the what you call budgeting. This comes under budgeting. These are the key terms. Of the key terms related to earn value analysis. Actually, if I show you with the help of example, if I come to this theory, then you can easily understand. If I show you the example, then if I come to this theory, then easily you can understand this calculation. If I teach you now theory, if you Then if I tell you to the concept, then you won't understand that. How to come up with a basic simple example? I will show you the example. Then output of this is generally we will have work performance information. What is the work performance we will get? We'll get CV, CPI, EVA. So many metric we can get. So many metric we will get from the earned value methods. In earned value method, we will get so many metrics. Then cost forecast also. That we will try to